Hey guys, welcome. Yep, it's Crypto Sniper coming straight back at you on the crypto realm and world. How are you doing? From a beautiful sunny game reserve, watching the buffalo herd come to the watering hole. Let's talk about Bitcoin and the great journey. So a couple of interesting points that we want to keep you in mind, and why we've been the crew that have continued to say to you, you need to remain net long. You need to remain net long in this great game, and why everyone will sell too soon, and our critique of many that points to closing and panicking out because you've had a good run. Now the difference is, this is a foundational move in the history of the establishment of crypto. We are in a transitionary state. The fact that we have reset in our three circles is incredibly beneficial, because we understand that this is a seminal era that is taking place, and that in actual fact you are in the first cup gold nugget over here, break way back here down. The original stop was 8.1 and 10k, and you went for your first overperformance run. You should have got out there at the 54 on your overperformance trumpet, which is something you'll learn about if you go to www.themarketsniper.com. That's right, themarketsniper.com is the only place you can engage with us. Click on the link in our YouTube details below. Book a call on a date and time that you will make. Do not waste our guys' time, please. They are there, they're always on time, they're professional, and you will get an insightful introduction to some of what we do. Details on our program with screen share, so that you can see it, touch it, feel it, and know what you get, and you will get an offer. So only book if you are serious about maximizing your wealth in these reset times. And this is a seminal era. We have got the old horse, the donkey that is dying, that is our fiat system, and hey, coincidence of all coincidences, the new system, the fresh pony, has arrived, and there is a transition going on. Those that remain too long on the old horse are in a zero savings rate environment, on a devaluing currency, in a hyper going towards, I don't want to say hyper, inflationary period. Hyper is when you go beyond double digits, deep into 20s, 30s, and triple digits. We could get there. We're not there yet, but we're certainly well between the 10 and 20. Forget the statistics that they give you. John Williams of Shadow Stats will have you in mid-teens in terms of American inflation. That is about to be transferred to Europe, as the Eurozone currency will collapse. Doesn't matter where you live, your fiat is being affected. Don't think it's only for the person with the Turkish lira and the Brazilian real and the Indian rupee. You need to be aware. All your fiats are collapsing, including the dollar. Even though the dollar will have a spell of relative strength, they've just had huge inflation and a spell of relative weakness. They printed 25% of their currency total in circulation in a single year last year, and there's more coming. Okay, so back to Bitcoin. This is a seminal event. They are inflating this beach ball to the size of Jupiter. That's why people get out too soon. That's why people can't see things moving. This is a rushed HVF. We've got a funnel in there, and you've had nothing. Week in, week out, COT signals. That is the Hunt Bitcoin COT indicator. Now don't go looking for normal COT signals, because you'll just get the COT data. We have done a specific calculation on that, where we have deducted the 4 largest sellers and the 4 largest buyers from each other to get a delta differential. We have also done a volatility based measure to see whether it is a super long or just a normal long. And as a result of that, we've generated a signal, and we've told you about it. Many of you that are regular watchers will know about it. The signal is on there, and I will actually show you the indicator. And this is why we've kept you long, consistently long. And this is why at the head and shoulders down leg to the targets here, we said targets made, stay long. You got a COT indicator major call. Those are the notes. You can remove them so that you can see the indicator once you've read them. Please read them so that you understand exactly what we are signaling. So the green line is the 4 largest buyers on this lower side. The 4 largest buyers has widened in its differential, and we've actually had a flippening. That means the sellers, the miners, that are the inherent earners of Bitcoin are consistently reducing the amount that they are selling. That probably points to decent profitability on their half, but more importantly to the lack or the reduced need to sell out of their Bitcoin and their optimism for Bitcoin's price further. These are the smartest people in the room, the best informed people in the room. If you're mining, it's a scale game in crypto. Forget about doing it with your, your laptop in your room. Those days were long over. You've got to have a power advantage. You've got to have a lot of things on your team. And the four largest buyers, which will be the institutions now, are net accumulators, and they flippant. That's the buyers becoming bigger than the sellers. That is causing a surplus of demand. You've got 3 back-to-back weak signals here. Here at the relative low 2. Here again at our relative low 3. I'll show you on a smaller time frame, and we're on the weekly at the moment. By the way, there's a bug in TradingView. You need a custom 7 days. The weekly won't show you all the indicators. Don't forget this long. That kept you saying, no, we will not be shaken out by this falling wedge that is occurring. Post the target event there. That kept you in Bitcoin long. We called it halftime first oranges. Nobody has got the Bitcoin calls accurate like we have, because we have the unique custom made from COT data, Hunt BTC COT indicator and HVF method on our team. Okay, so that's the big picture. That's why you want to be macro long, and actually you've had a Bitcoin dominance. The calls have come on Bitcoin data, futures data, and you've got a Bitcoin data dominance spell that has occurred during this period. So just to remind you also of that key fact. Now, it won't run for dominance forever, but it has so far for a wee bit. As you can see on the monthly time frame, you can see how these COT indicators have performed even on the dominance side. When you've got a buy on the COT indicators, you need to have Bitcoin. So it's fun. We see a lot of people in their comments as well. I know Raul's almost dumped all his Bitcoin for Ethereum, for example, and other tokens. And then you see the Bitcoin dominance come back. Just as everybody goes through the growth curve of first they're into Bitcoin and Bitcoin maxis, then they go into other things are faster, quicker, and they start dropping into alts. Then they transition entirely into alts in a bull market because they're going up faster. They dump all their Bitcoin in the end. Then you have a rest pause, and then they learn that Bitcoin leads all recoveries. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart over here. Boom. On a weekly, my apologies, 7 days. There, you got the Bitcoin long, you got dominance out of Bitcoin. Then you got the lows here and a reassert, 3 buys on the Bitcoin. Now, if we get all the way up to here, and I'm not saying we will, but we are calling for an 84K target. We'll see how certain alts will perform. I'm going to show you the total 3 as well coming in all of this. But if you get up to this 48, you then have the possibility of a W bottom. So I'm on a different traveling tool here, so I don't have my usual Epic pens. But if we were to get all the way up to the 48-ish level, you would possibly have a W bottom, which could generate an upside target for some Bitcoin dominance. Remember something. Institutions have to go through that same cycle that you went through, that Raul went through, where you went Bitcoin is it, then the other tokens, let's have a little bit more of the extra action, the higher beta, the little greed genie chasing into the smaller stuff. It's a couple of people go right into the shit coins. I don't suggest that. The micro caps, there's enough money to be made, there's enough leverage around. You don't need to chase the extreme low volatility, and the windows for their spikes are very small, and they pump and then they can dump very hard. Most people can't cope with that level of volatility. Cryptos are plenty volatile enough, and there's over leverage available. But anyway, back to this point. If we were to make up to 48, you could even have a reversal where the low down here, let's just point him on dominance, was in and around low, look at me, 39.66. so that would give you roughly 8%, where you could have 8% onto 48. It could take you back up to around 56 over here. That's not a prediction, I'm just saying if we get back up here, it could be on the cards. Bitcoin is at a rest now, and some of the alts are showing slightly relative strength, but that baton gets passed backwards and forwards. And remember, institutional money will be driving this cycle. You were early and you're part of the retail. Don't lose all your hard-earned Bitcoin valuation on account of leverage being impatient. Bitcoin is liquid. It is high liquidity. I've told you about bookies and various anecdotal evidence that shows there's a real market for the liquidity that's in Bitcoin. So institutions and businesses will chase the liquidity, not the highest risk. Bitcoin alone is a high risk item for them. They don't need to chase into number 99 on the market cap where they won't be able to get their money back out. They know better than you do. They don't go through the same learning path. They will chase the liquidity, which is why we've actually had a ETH-DOM turning on the Ethereum, pretty decent performances out of Ethereum and Bitcoin. These are the big boys. So that's why Total 3 is interesting, because it's everything excluding that. We'll have a look at those. So anyway, so potential for a W bottom, but you're some way off. That can fizzle. Just because it's an option that could occur doesn't mean it has to. On a shorter time frame, however, I will highlight that you've already had some small time frame structures already occur. So here you see a little left shoulder and head. Let's draw again. Let's draw again. Let's change the color. Let's go to Rania. Whoops, we didn't mean to change that to orange, but we've gone and done it now. That was your left shoulder. That was a neckline. And then this was your head coming around again to a neckline. And then this was another shouldering event all the way. So that was a right shoulder. Plus you were getting your long signals back to back, 3 weeks in a trot. We've never ever had that in 2.5 years, guys. That's why you buy us long. You made that target, and so what? You rest now. So is everybody going to die and slit their wrists? You could rest all the way back to this target and still get up to this 48.44 over there. And then you would have an event where you actually had a nestled small inverted head and shoulders with this light blue neckline that has performed to target. That will, its main role will be to get you up to the neckline of this bigger area over here. Then you have that W bottom that we were talking about, which is now part orange and part pink, thanks to my coloring incompetence here with the trading view. Let's make it back pink so it's not too confusing. So that's a little bit on dominance, but it is pulling back right now, and I think Total 3 will be given its head, because I'll show you there's an upside HVF. So your alts, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, may well do quite well for a spell now. That doesn't mean the Bitcoin dominance aspect is over, however. It doesn't mean the Bitcoin absence dominance is over. Let's say what we mean what we say. Let's be accurate. Okay, so let's transition over to Ethereum. Had a good run, marginally higher high to this. That's a little bit of a rejection. It's not a point to chase in like a lunatic right now on your Ethereum, but this is a very ascending line. The line along the lows here. Let's just grab one. Let's draw super big. We can just illustrate that. There's been a strong tendency to buy along these lows. Now the interesting thing here, let's make it red. The interesting thing here is that you got the 3 Bitcoin longs, and you've also been great signals. This is Bitcoin futures data. Ethereum now has a future, but it is not mature yet. This is Bitcoin's future data on Ethereum. We got you in at 1750 back here after the first leg of the bull markets, and you should have been in on this falling wedge breakup that's been very profitable. And then your halftime oranges, well, that was the main halftime oranges, but then your September the 7th strike that brought us a little bit back down, and since then it's been a bleed up. That's a little bit exhaustive though, so Ethereum wants picking up. Now whenever you take out a localized high, you haven't taken your all-time high yet, by the way. You've literally just missed kissing it. The high there is whoops, let's check that again. I was looking at the low, 4375, and I think you're a smidge over that. 4372, 4375. Yeah, you did take it by $1 or $2. They're very similar. And what do? You just pull back. That's exactly what Bitcoin has done. So if we go back to Bitcoin, the margin, this is classic. People go, oh, it's all over now we're in trouble, oh, cry. No, you're in a good space. Let's finish what we were doing on Bitcoin. We never came back to this lower time frame. So let me delete that line and go back to just normal cursor pull. So this is your Bitcoin scenario, and we have given you the target of 84,000 basically on this. It's 83,000 and a few hundreds. You're unlikely to stop on the dot. And the key levels of significance that were run recently, so let's just reframe that again. We can let go of that. The key levels that were run just recently was the right shoulder. That was 59.5. Then the 60 grand. It's not drawn on here. I can put it in for you. This was a recent one. 60 grand key level. Let's get it right. 58, 58, 59, 59. That should be in dark blue. And we want it as a 60,000er. It's not exactly at 60,057, but you can see the right shoulder, the 60k, and the second interim of our HVF. What did you get? A small rest. Then you pushed higher, you've done the marginally higher high, and then you've had a sell-off. That is far from tragedy, guys. Look how strong this thing has been. It's had 3 back-to-back weekly buys. You stay with it. Is the rate of up at the same pace? No, because this was already covered territory here. This first leg up to the 54. The 54 literally was a legacy level for us from the 2.618. We gave you that right back for an overperformance targets when you're at 10 grand breaking up to the outside. We said one of our best guesses overperformance targets would be 54,000. That was before we'd even made the 26,000 of the normal first cup golden nugget. That was a 2.618 extension utilizing the funnel levels of stop and traditional entry. You will learn how to do things like that via our program, which is a community of like-minded top-end people that are all prepared to invest and will get a return on their investments on balance of probabilities by being smarter than the average retail guy. Community is not a trade feed, although you will get plenty of great trade ideas. It's about learning and growing, because money only sticks when you grow. Money is amazing. It flows from those that look after it, or away from those that don't look after it, towards those that look after it. And you have to develop skills for that. Otherwise, you blow your account, you get a few trades in a right, and you bring yourself back to normality. And all you do is you take yourself for an emotional roller coaster, and you usually end off worse off than before than if you'd just hodled. And we actually can be one of the rare spaces where you can further supplement a standard hodl and also recognize relative strength in key moments inside the alts, across Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum dominance, and various aspects like that. And you don't have to get every decision right. It's almost impossible, but we get a much better probability-based scenario that is rational. So you can see from the 54k level here that it pivoted slightly slower and a small bit more push and pull and choppy. And of course, having just made that new high, you pull back. Is that high volatility? No. Is that a September the 7th slap in the face? No. This is slightly broadening. Its rate of ascent might slow for a while. That's absolutely okay. Does it wind up just below the previous high over here for a while to break above it? This is how you take out key levels of significance. You push through it early, then you exhaust, you fall back below it. Then you wind up and you do lots of attempts that fail, but slower, lower volatility squeeze, and then you surge through it, and now that previous high becomes support. It's quite typical of taking out. There's been guys, so many guys, that have just been calling bearishness on Bitcoin and various other things. They said the ETF will have the same result as the futures. Not necessarily, many of them. The futures was just prior to the 20k where they tamed Bitcoin. They already have the derivative markets to control. So the ETF doesn't have to mean that it's going to get smacked down because now you've got the cartel behind it. If they want to smack it down, they could already. They need to re-inflate this so that it can take over from the financial system they want to let smash down. That's where they're at the moment right now. So it's in their interest that it goes up. They just don't want you making all the money, and they want to shake you out. So that's why they give you leverage, and they don't encourage you to learn real method, and you blow your pot. Okay, let's talk about a couple of tokens that could do well. So we did a little bit, I wanted to show you ETHBTC to show you that ETH might, it's not my first pick, but it's a major cap alt, obviously, and for me it's starting to show that it's based out. So this is in essence my take on ETHBTC. Of course, the usual, even though they've done certain things regarding their gas prices and all of that, that's going to be topical. But you got 1 and 2, that is a low, and I think it's bottomed on its ETHBTC, and I think you create your third, and this will then go back up again, and Ethereum will make new highs against BTC, which would include running 9% of a Bitcoin. And this is slightly complex. It's going up and down and up and down and up and down. I would say that we are looking now for a bigger HVF structure here to still come out of the wilderness somewhere. This has all been a churn. We have given you this on this Crypto Sniper channel countless times. By the way, please right now give us a puppy lick to the face. We don't put adverts on this channel. You hit the like button. That's how you lick our face. We love to have our faces licked by our puppies. You're our best puppies. We love you. We want to help you make money. We want to help you build wealth in these times. And there is no advertising, no algorithm support for our content. And we also want to grow. We also want to get recognition, but staying humble always and serving you to the best of our abilities. So this sell-off has been a bit of an ETH period of underperformance to Bitcoin. It's gone with the Bitcoin dominance, and now you've got a bit of a basing out. So the liquidity will start to chase Ethereum now because of the platform concept, the Bitcoin as gold and Ethereum as application platform, etc. 3 longs just into these lows. Again, as the Bitcoin was being that little bit dominance, and now I think your alt starts to move. This purple line, target for the head and shoulders. Dare I remind you, this is from so long back, way back when. There was your target for a head and shoulder weak call. Guys, I don't want to say it, but no one else has given you these trades with this level of accuracy. This was your left shoulder, your right shoulder. You have been gestating at this major macro target level the full time from when it was first made, way back here in 3rd of May. We're in October, we're the end of October, we're almost November. That kept you out of Ethereum. We haven't been talking much about Ethereum from the 5th month of this year. We're now virtually the 11th month. For 6 months we've not been over biasing it because it met its damn target and has been in a wind up ever since. So the play, we've spoken about ADA, we've spoken about Solana, more recently we've been talking about Ripple, yet to move. All of this has come as a result of knowing that this is now going to underperform for a while. We've even given guys the information on Hex underperforming for a while. You know, that's got non-stop up as well as it's done to stay out of those while we wait for the Pulse network. So in terms of relative strength, we are probably the best in the business, and we're unrecognized for that because we don't put adverts in there. But all we ask for you is to give us a like and 1 share, and we truly appreciate that. And we're going to continue to keep serving you for that, and we'll be able to do more content to a higher standard more regularly, and more investment in that if we get that. So where's this? I would put that there and then say that's no longer a target. This was your final low here, down here. So at some point we will have an ETH-BTC move that could be substantial. So I'm here to tell you that despite what you think about all the challenges to ETH has got potentially, this will take it into double digits, by the way, versus Bitcoin. And don't forget, we've got Bitcoin up to 84,000. This is going to be 9.7. I could see you running the 10%er here. There's your 10%. ETH will become 10% of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is 84,000, let's say, by the time it makes its target, I don't think ETH-BTC will be at 10% at the same time frame. I think it might take longer, but that does point to ETH at 8.4 thousand when it's 10% of Bitcoin. That's if Bitcoin just makes 84k and goes no further and holds on until ETH does it. So ETH getting into 10k, 15k, and even, dare I say it, beyond, is indeed possible depending on where Bitcoin is. This will be a big move for Ethereum. These guys want to have your property on the blockchain and be throwing you off your land on forced purchases because you undervalued your property and they've got tons of tokens to buy you out. You will own nothing and be happy on the happy pills that they will inject on you in your booster injections. That's right. A bit of joy and love from the control structure. But I can tell you Ethereum is part of it. I laugh at the guys that say, oh, Ripple was a banker's coin. They're all going to be working against you. This is your new financial order system that is coming. But that's going to be a 10% if we do this. I mean, this midpoint is even a bit higher. I do feel that that's going to be 10% of Bitcoin. I push that a little bit up. It's a bit laggy. I'm in the middle of the bushveld watching over the top of my laptop the buffalo and the zebras have a swim in the... Saw actually a hippo A big male hippo kill a baby hippo that wasn't his, chomp it in its mouth, rip it to shreds. Quite a sight, quite sad. Nature killing out those that are not its kin, terminating the bloodline that is not his. Quite a dark topic. Anyway, so there you go. That's your 9/7. That's ETH. So ETH is not going to be half bad, and you can see this in the dominance. You guys are under looking at your dominance charts. Dominance measures your particular token against the rest of the goddamn market. You want to know that you're in tokens that have got real relative strength. Listen to me as I say this to you. Listen to me as I say this to you. This is an important thing that you're not doing enough of. Yes, you can look cross token at ETH, at BTC, but look at these RL2 entries here, very similar to the BTC, because of course you will understand that the Bitcoin is a large part of the market. Sorry, get the leaves and the trees. I'm sitting outside getting some sunshine here, and I'm getting all of nature falling around me. So this also has a structure very, very similar to the BTC chart, that's probably pointing to lows, and will probably point to percentages that will be quite decent in terms of gains. The one that's been disappointing since has been ADA. It's continued, since it's all hype and hopium and news, it's been underperforming, and it actually invalidated our ADA dominance chart, which had an upside. So that is something that's going to underperform for a while, in my opinion, and has invalidated a structure. So I'm not going to touch on him, apart as to say ADA has become, I'm not a big holder. I'm in Sol, I'm in XRP, and I'm in one or two others that you might care to watch. We quite like Binance. It's quite well structured. So Binance is a bit like XRP, the great hated, because it's, you know, it's a big exchange. It's not decentralized, it's an exchange, plus it's been attacked by the same forces that Ripple has been attacked. There's been word now that they're going to get 2 months extension for the SEC case against Ripple. That could put Ripple on a block of ice for a while longer. So that's a case where the news has moved a bit against us. DOT had a wave of news that was doing rather well. I wouldn't chase it in recent highs. So we owe you an update on XRP because we did it, but the fundamental news for that court extension is not helpful news. So it could put it on ice a little longer. We're just waiting for this to load. I've got my connection's gone a bit slow here. So while you're waiting for the XRP to load up, couple of key points. So Ethereum still to look good, potentially to become 10% of Bitcoin. Bitcoin to be good, Bitcoin to do 84k. So Ethereum, by definition, by the time it's 10%, assuming Bitcoin hasn't come significantly back down, which is unlikely in an environment where the alts are still going up, you would have the situation where Ethereum is at least going to be 8.4k at 10%, and it can overperform to that, and of course Bitcoin could have gone higher to that. So that's our XRP, just sort of sitting in a holding pattern. The one positive thing I can say on all of this, the one positive thing I can say while we wait, because I do expect a very good move when this comes. There's no change in my fundamental bullishness on this. I have to say, these guys have a plan for this guy. I can tell you that much. And you know, whether you like it or not, if there's money to be made, you should make it. Excuse me. So let's have a look at that historical volatility on the indicator. What I want to highlight to you is that in actual fact, the volatility is dropping on this guy immensely. We put 3 historical volatilities and not one of them has shown up. Let's take some of the extras off, shall we? Okay. Really laggy. You can't be in the middle of nowhere enjoying animals and freedom with very few people and expect the best internet. So whilst I regret it, I won't over apologize. I'm trying to update everybody. Hope you appreciate that. Hit a like, and we'll get recognition from the algorithm for that. Okay, so the point I'm waiting for this indicator to come on, which is taking a while, is historical volatility. Quite windy as well outside. Historical volatility. And the historical volatility is going to show you that it's going real quiet for this particular token. Real quiet is good. Real quiet is good. I can tell you that much. It is helpful when it is real quiet. Why? Yep, so that's our XRP dominance and our XRP, and the aspect we were looking to get a little look in is just to illustrate how the historical volatility has dropped. So whilst it could have a stab down, it's not always good news. Low vol, you can break down off that as well. Generally, a calming is generally bullish. We could come off very slowly, or we could break to the upside. So XRP has been pushed down the pecking order, but it is a large cap, and the money is following the large caps. So who in the meantime will run while we wait to have XRP relieved of its SEC overhang? Well, Solana. Solana has been our fave for a lengthy period and has been setting up nicely, and it's done a little wee fractal and it's performed rather well. So it remains an attractive crypto that you generally want to be overweight on your blue pot. Just during this period it has a little bit required a rest. So you have a green a bit of a basing ascending grind line that has been running through this. A lot of annotations on my chart, as you can see, as usual. Let's pull this through. The interesting part is that did run a 61.8 just up top here. Let's grab that. Slightly disproportionate structure, but it is in a breakout, and we have a target for that. More details on where that target is in our premium community area. So Solana is one of those that we are interested in and remain and have perps on. And still have some blue pot on. I would have done better to have hung on to the bigger size of Solana, because I moved some into XRP. I did steal from some of my Solana, but you know, that is what it is. We're early on XRP, but I don't think we're entirely wrong on it. Although being too early is in effect wrong. I don't think we're wrong. I think it comes. So Solana is one. Which others have we got that we've got a relative strength over bias? Well, I'm going to take you to two others because it's been difficult recording here. I've got patchy Wi-Fi, and I'm hoping this is all going to be good and well received. So and the upload will not be too lengthy as well. So we are looking at Algo. We think it's got great structure in here as well. So here's a nice piece of structure, a little bit of a bump over there, slightly disproportionate. A couple of concepts you can learn about if you click the link below to the www.themarketsniper.com. You can learn all about that and how you can determine whether it's still worthy of a take, how we would trade it just at a fractal level, if we were uncomfortable with a sense of disproportion, all of these elements. But Algo looks like it's got some upside. And the other that I wanted to let you know about was Elrond. I tend to get these confused. It's total provocation of my dyslexic tendencies here. But this is also structure for an upside, and Elrond looks very healthy indeed. I could see it getting 380 and beyond into the 400s from this level alone. So Elrond and Algorand, plus you've got your Ethereum that we liked, and Solana on dips, because the one point I will make about the Solana progress is that it has just made a second interim. So if it has a small dip back down, you can load up. So there's 4 alts. Why are we looking for 4 alts? Well, the total 3 that I'd suggested we would also look at with you is in an upside HVF breakout to a very good level, around about 961 billion there, that purple line. You can see the number. We've been seeing that, and you got the second interim run. You came all the way back down to your funnel, and you're going to probably wind up again to get through it. In fact, if you had a micro or a mini HVF on here, you'd get some new amplitude as well. That would give you the upside to the structure here. possibly with a little bit of a bonus as well, which would be most welcome. So that 961 is a great move to the upside. And remember, total 3 excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the fact that you actually have an upside HVF for total 3 means some alt tokens, and for me, I would go look at the big market caps first. With Ethereum, I think, pushed to the back of the queue with that 2 months, not Ethereum, Ripple. You want to have a look at the outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. You want to have a look at the top 10. Eliminate the stable coins, eliminate Ripple for now, which I think has been pushed out. We already have positions in it, and that will take you to a new high on total 3. And I think the candidates are Sol, Elrond, and Algorand. So let's say that again. Elrond and Algorand are our picks. Solana as well on that. And you've got the rest to work through. And I think Binance token is actually going to do all right. We mentioned that as well. So if you have a little look at the market cap and you get the coin market cap ordered by market cap, and you get the biggest first rather than the smallest first. Ethereum, I think, is going to do okay. It's a little bit off today, but not as much as Bitcoin. Binance token, I think, will do fine, although it's also off today. Cardano, I think, is a little flat generally. Solana, I think, is a definite pick. I see it continuing. Ripple will come. Whether it'll come early now or it's still at the back of the queue, we don't know. Dot's had a good run. I'm not so sure I want to chase in, but I think it can do a little more. I don't really have a strong feeling about Doggy, so I like Luna, which is now almost in the top 10. You can keep an eye on Uniswap, Avalanche. Litecoin is a bit old school. Chainlink, I'm in there. So those are where that total 3 is going to get its run up from. I would imagine the bigger caps doing 5-10%, far more significant contribution to total 3 than number 99 doing 30%, just on account of, they're much smaller. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget, book a call. Link below, themarketsniper.com. Max out this period. We've kept you bull. We're going to keep on keeping you bull. We're going to show you the relative strength. This is a little example of a kind of a premium update. We do much more media updates, both with voice messages, charts similar to this, that are done just exclusively in our sniper circle. Give a call only if you're serious. We have limited seating now available. We're watching our numbers. We've been doing really well. Thank you to all the people that have come on board and trusted us, and are fast earning a return on their money, earning their money back and a multiple thereof. And that's our goal for you. Plus the defense that you must take to protect your money. This is really, in some senses, a one-stop shop now, because we're defending, helping people get structures in place that will help you keep what you make, from both the tax extractors and also remembering to take some off the table. Plenty also on the less volatile other markets that are turning, such as silver, gold, so that you can have something physical in an environment where cash is going to be killed. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Thank you for sharing, and we'll catch you again with another crypto update. Stay long into the Bitcoin bull, 84K. We're looking for Ethereum to become 10% of that, potentially, not necessarily in the same time frame. So whatever Bitcoin will be in the future when FBTC makes the 10% relative. So Bitcoin is going to be overperformed by Ethereum in due course, even if that hasn't looked like it till now. So I don't think the Bitcoin dominance goes on for too much longer. So remember, we did that W bottom. It's possible, but I don't think it's assumed. And the total 3 here is certainly showing us that outside of ETH and BTC, there's some more upside to be picked up, running from 920 to the 961 billions in market cap. So, and we gave you a couple of ideas who's going to shine in there. Okay, all the best to you, and we'll catch up with you later. Thanks for watching.